Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Today was fun, wasn't it? Number go up again? Yes. Bitcoin breaking briefly above $48,000 as this instills additional confidence for many people that Bitcoin indeed will be hitting new all-time highs sooner than later, whether that's this summer or the end of 2024 or early 2025. It does seem as though most people out there, analysts or not, they do think that's what's most probable. And of course, not everybody agrees, and I see the point that nobody knows for sure. But I will say this, if the market keeps going to the upside, my God, life-changing wealth is at hand, and it's never been closer for so many people, including lots of you listening, I'm willing to bet. And I'm going to share with you perspective from one of my favorite analysts out there who says that, frankly, I think he might be being a little bit conservative, depending on what you hold, if he's correct. But he says, you could 10x your profits from wherever you are now as soon as 6 months from now. And really all it takes is a simple strategy. And again, it depends on what you hold. And are you going to screw stuff up by emotionally getting in and out of positions? But in terms of the opportunity being there, yes, if indeed the market's going to grind higher, and we see equities going up and crypto asset class continues to move up in tandem, which you generally see, yes, that sounds completely reasonable. Whether it's 6 months, 12 months, whatever, we've never been closer. That's what it feels like to me, and especially we here in the XRP community, because if Bitcoin truly is going to hit a new all-time high, it's hard to fathom that XRP wouldn't. There's a reason it has always been in the top 10 cryptos by market cap. The market agrees with you. That's the reason XRP has always been there for over a decade, despite a serious XRP attack. Despite artificial price suppression during the last market cycle. And even then it still went to $2 and moved in tandem with the rest of the market. The market, broadly speaking, agrees with us here in the XRP community, even if they don't consider themselves to be like ingrained in the community on a daily basis like perhaps you are. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. At the time I'm recording this, XRP is 52.7 cents, which is just a little bit below its 24-hour high, which was 52.89 cents. You have Bitcoin currently $47,393. But again, the 24-hour high, as you can see if you're looking at the screen, $48,021.15. And that moment was brief. It's pulled back a little bit since then, but seems to be holding at this particular moment in time. And here you have the Crypto Fear and Greed Index at 74 out of 100. People feeling pretty damn happy. And you know what? For good reason. And you know what's funny? Look right here. Last month, 1 month ago, the market was in extreme greed at 76 out of 100. That's the only day this market cycle, from the bottom, that's the only day in this entire market cycle since we've reached the bottom where we've gotten high enough where we were in extreme greed. It happened for 1 day. And so I just got to kind of ask, if the market's topping and the people that say that are correct, and maybe they are, I don't pretend to know for sure, but it's just, isn't it a little crazy that we didn't see the intense greed and the laser eyes and the diamond hands and all the celebrities jumping in and all that crap that you normally see, all the stuff that marks cycle tops? Isn't it a little weird that we saw extreme greed for 1 day? And look, I understand the market was moving up for over a year. 2023 was bullish AF. I totally get it. But did that feel like mania to you? It just doesn't seem like it to me. I went through a couple of these bad boys. That doesn't seem like what this is. So fine, if this is the top, okay. It just doesn't feel like it, and it's kind of hard to believe. But Bitcoin's not the only thing moving up here. Did you guys check out this news? The headline really says it all. I don't need to read the article. It's from Yahoo Finance. Stock market today. S&P 500 closes above 5,000 for first time ever. So there you go. S&P 500 at an all-time high, closing above 5,000 for the first time. And you've probably heard a bazillion times by now. I'm not the only one that believes this. It just seems to be fact so far as I'm concerned. If you're going to see Bitcoin hitting a new all-time high, you better hope that equities continue to move to the upside, and that is what we're seeing. Now, is it going to continue to move to the upside like this? Well, this is the point where it's put up or shut up, right? Something's going to happen here. Either it's going to dramatically break down and we're all going to be a bunch of sad pandas, Or in the not too distant future, we're going to see a very clear breakaway. But this like we are at this make or break moment. So I don't know if it's going to take a day, a week, a month. I don't know what the timeline's going to be, but eventually there's going to be like a big move with conviction, and there will be very, very clear what's happening. That's where we're at right now. That's what's at stake. So that's why, as far as the real opportunity for life-changing wealth, guys, it's no joke. Being in crypto, like, my God, I just, we are so fortunate. Almost no humans are in this. Almost no humans know about it. And many of the people that know about it, they haven't done sufficient research to be confident that it makes sense to even be involved in it. A lot of people are naysayers, which is a fine starting point. I mean, I jumped in on a whim, over 6 years ago. I was skeptical. I'm willing to bet pretty much all of you were skeptical when you jumped in. And that's a good starting point. But like, I'm just, all that to say, there's just not many people on here. I could not be more thankful that I jumped into crypto when I did. It would have been nice if I could have found out about it a bit sooner and jumped in sooner. I mean, technically I did know about it sooner than when I jumped in, but because I saw a Netflix documentary probably like a couple years prior. But still, I digress. I'm just saying, I'm still thankful, even if it was in 2017. Even if I found out about it in 2024, I'd still be thankful, understanding there's almost no humans in it now. And then there was this Jim Cramer from January 22nd this year. He posted on X, unlikely that Bitcoin finds its footing in my... Par for the course, Jim Cramer. Watcher Guru shared this on X and noted that Bitcoin's now up about 20% since he posted that. Just chronically wrong, Jim Cramer. Who listens to this guy? It's just astonishing. Here's a post from Credible Crypto. It was a repost of something he shared on January 26th, which I'll highlight in a moment, but he references it in a post from just this morning, before we really saw most of the fireworks of today. And this resonated with me, and it is true. And sometimes people have a hard time recognizing the true opportunity for life-changing wealth that is at hand when you go through such long periods of moving sideways or even downward price action. It beats people up. It makes it seem impossible, but it's not. This asset class has been trending up since inception, from zero to what's the market cap today? Over $1.8 trillion. It just keeps going up despite pullbacks. And so here's what Credible Crypto said. Using the strategy below and with zero leverage / margin, a 10x within 6 to 12 months on your portfolio is easily achievable at the minimum, in my opinion. This type of opportunity doesn't come along every day and is something that investors in traditional markets can only dream of. It's available to you here and now. And, okay, so I firmly believe that is indeed the case. Now, again, depending on what you're holding, 10x might be a little too conservative. Now, for someone like me, like I'm kind of lame in the world of crypto, I guess, because I'm more into large cap coins and mid cap coins. I know a lot of you are interested in like micro caps and small caps mostly. I just don't like chasing that stuff because that's a different risk profile. If you're into that, that's fine. It's just that most of that stuff's never going to make it, whereas the stuff that's risen to the top at this point, yeah, you're going to have a much lower opportunity for a multiplier effect. Yeah, absolutely. But it's still going to be so much greater than what happens in traditional finance that I don't give a damn. That can still be life-changing wealth for me, assuming this pans out the way that I'm thinking it probably will if I just sit tight on it long enough. So I'm happy to be in the lamer coins, if you want to call them that, or the less exciting ones because they're larger mid caps. So what? So to each their own. But I mean, even for some of these large caps, if you're talking about a 10x from here, Credible Crypto, definitely reasonable what he said there, but that might be a little too conservative because, I mean, what are you talking about? Like, imagine a tenfold with XRP. That's about $5. I'd be shocked. Look, if XRP is going to hit a new all-time high, you're telling me that price discovery is only going to lead it to like $5? Kind of skeptical. I'm not making a price prediction. I don't know, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So he's being responsible in what he's saying. This isn't some sort of critique of what he's saying. I'm broadly agreeing. I'm just saying the good news is even some of the large and mid caps are going to go much higher than that. It's not unreasonable to suspect that's what's going to happen. And then the time frame, 6 to 12 months. Well, look at where we are right now. Everything seems to be aligned. Unless some of the people that are now bearish are saying, nope, we've hit the top, and okay, maybe they're right. And that's a minority of people. But if they're not right, then yes, the next 6 to 12 months are going to be absolutely insane before entering the next bear market. I mean, the opportunity is truly here. So that's why I'm not going to squander it. I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to hold tight. I'm going to do absolutely nothing. And so I don't want to read the whole post that Credible Crypto was referencing. It's one of his posts. It's on January 26th. You can pause and read the whole thing if you want. But the part that I highlighted is the only part I'm going to share because it just makes sense. Like, you don't have to be some sort of wizard. You don't have to be a chart guy. You don't have to be a trader. In fact, most traders lose money anyway. Like, people don't get it. Like, what you need to do, broadly speaking, is after you buy stuff, you need to do precisely nothing. That is the strategy that works investing in equities. That is the strategy that works investing in crypto. Because it's the same humans with the same DNA. It shouldn't be surprising that works. But anyway, here's what he said. If you don't know what you're doing here and or are not a seasoned/active trader and or struggle watching drawdown on your spot portfolio and don't have the emotional fortitude or technical expertise, knowledge to technical analysis knowledge to weather the storms, but you still want exposure to the space, your best bet is to do the following. Buy spot Bitcoin and chill till new all-time highs. Then consider rotating into some select alts after all-time high is breached. And that's fair enough. Some people are going to love to take the Bitcoin profit, understanding that money flows through the whole ecosystem, and then alts take off. Now, I have a rule for myself. This is just for me. I'm going to be very strict about this. Whatever crypto I sell, I'm going to take that money and it is out for the remainder of the cycle. A smaller percentage of it, maybe 10%, maybe I'll put it back in once it's clear that the market is close to bottoming out. Like, say it's down 70, 80, some coins 90%, then I'll be like, okay, I can take 10% of my profits from the height and throw it back in. But that's just part of what I'm doing to try and idiot-proof my approach to investing in crypto. That's just part of what I'm doing. Now, other people don't want to do that, and it's probably reasonable, if you want to take the profits and do that. There are people that will do that and probably do better in terms of percentage gains than me, but I don't want that risk on the table. Period. I made this rule for myself many, many, many years ago. That's it, and I'm sticking to it. I don't care how much money I leave on the table. I've been in this over 6 years. When this comes and I start selling, I am keeping that damn profit. You better believe that. I am not going to put it up against additional risk. Absolutely not. And so, is what it is. Different people have different perspectives. That's fine. It's not for me. I'm just a guy that just buys. I sit back and I watch. That's pretty much it. But folks, stuff can happen quickly, which is why I shared the post that's on your screen. This is from Plan B, one of the most well-known figures in all of crypto, 1.9 million followers. He's famous for having applied the stock-to-flow model to Bitcoin. Not that I buy into the stock-to-flow model at this particular point in time. I don't think it matters. I think the halving and all that crap, I think it's inconsequential at this point. But setting that aside, the point here, it's just a fact. He wrote, from here to $60,000 in 14 days, October 2021. So he's noting that from the current price level for Bitcoin, it went to $60,000 in 14 days. Folks, when it goes, it happens fast. Like, there'll just be days where you wake up and stuff's running. And so, yes, today was fun, but it can get way more wild. By the way, if anybody's curious, at the time I'm recording this, it's 10:56 p.m. Central Time, Friday, February 9th, 2024. So who knows what it is by the time you're watching this, hopefully more to the upside, but there are going to be days that are way more consequential to this. And we've already seen it recently in recent months. There was at least one day where Bitcoin went up, $5,000? But that ain't nothing. Like, we've seen greater than that before. Here's a post from Credible Crypto. He said, this is just a Bitcoin price chart with some blue squiggles as to what he's hoping and thinking may happen. And he wrote, give me this and I long my already long longs. I like that quote. I want to use that. And so he's just noting that if Bitcoin gets up to the point where it's around $50,000, he thinks that's breakaway status. And he shared a video that he recorded earlier in the day, which I did watch. It was a little less than a half hour. And you should check it out if you want the actual technical analysis. I don't want to I try to keep rehashing technical analysis as much to a minimum on this channel as is possible. That's just not the purpose of this channel. And I think it's kind of boring. Like, I appreciate the perspectives of the analysts. My God, the actual analysis, it frequently just bores me to tears. It's just not my jam. Okay, but I will note here a couple things, because Credible Crypto says that what's most probable right now, and what happened today in terms of the upward price move just further confirms it. He says that we're pretty much ready for the next leg up. And he says that we should expect individual months where we see Bitcoin go up by, say, roughly $10,000 to $20,000 in a single month, which he calls a melt up rather than a melt down. That's the point where we're at right now. He could not have stronger conviction. And he also shared this. I haven't talked about HBAR on the channel in quite a long while, but I know that tons of XRP holders are very much into HBAR. And why? Because HBAR offers real utility. And if you're into XRP, it's probably because you give a damn about utility, which makes you smarter than the typical retail speculator out there, or the degens as they're called, right? I think utility is of the utmost importance, and anything that's going to have long-term viability in the world of crypto is going to have to actually solve problems for real people and businesses, right? HBAR does that. And so that's why a lot of you are holding it, I think. But, oh, and by the way, HBAR happens to be currently my third largest position. It's gone back and forth a little bit. It's been my second largest position, third largest position, currently my third largest position because HBAR's come down a little bit recently. But I'm counting on this one to be one of the big winners for me when the market finally does blow up to the upside. So anyway, he wrote, HBAR Barians, you've been patient, and that patience will pay off soon. Adam and Eve, cup and handle, whatever you want to call it, this is a nearly 2-year macro, higher time frame bottoming pattern that is about to conclude. And by the way, folks, I'll just pause a note. He does have something to say about XRP very briefly, but it's kind of in line with what he's saying about HBAR. And so, yes, it feels like nothing's happening. It feels like, my God, it's up, it's down, but not that much. It's not even necessarily that exciting most of the time. Did I make a bad decision? It's been years now. Does this sound familiar? If you're an XRP holder, you've probably heard this before. Maybe you've been questioning things in such a way yourself. And you're only normal if you're doing that. I mean, we're all human, right? But it's like every coin that goes through this at one time or another. HBAR going through something similar here. But anyway, then he says, when we break from this pattern, there is no doubt in my mind that the subsequent expansion will take us to new all-time highs. Now, at the time that I'm recording this video, I want to say HBAR, I checked it like a couple hours or so ago. I think it was like 7.9 cents. The all-time high for HBAR, like 56 or 57 cents. And so he could not be more confident that it is going to hit a new all-time high. And he does seem to still have the same conviction for XRP. And then he says, for now, we just need to be a little more patient, as while Bitcoin has the spotlight and is on its way to new all-time highs, most alts like HBAR will likely continue to chop about for a bit longer. Ideally, we base out here on this lower time frame range for some more days/weeks before expansion. I will be loading up bigly in the green zone if we get it for a swing long. And so the green zone, for those of you not looking, he's talking about somewhere around roughly the 6-cent region, maybe a little bit higher than that. That's where he'd be interested in loading up a bit further. My HBAR bags are packed. I have no intention of purchasing more, at least not this market cycle. And I mean, I started buying HBAR, when was it, 3 years ago? I have accumulated sufficiently. Okay, I'll just say that because look, if I buy more, it's going to be the same problem I had with XRP, where it's like I have a buying problem. Like I need to knock it the hell off. And so I did knock it the hell off. And then there was this. Somebody asked Credible Crypto, anything for the XRP army, my guy, or am I missing it, or am I guessing it also is in a similar accumulation range as HBAR? And Credible Crypto simply responded, similar for XRP. When the time is right, I'll share. And so there's a reason he hasn't been talking about XRP as much recently. It's not because his conviction changed. It's not because he doesn't think XRP is going to hit a new all-time high. He holds a bunch of XRP. He's been hodling for years. He's been very public about it. He hasn't been talking about it because he's a chart guy and he goes to where the action is. XRP has been in accumulation. He's not like a news or discussion guy. He's a chart guy. XRP has been consolidating. He hasn't been talking much about HBAR either. He goes where the chart action is, whatever the coin is. But the point being, he knows what comes next. Bitcoin hits a new all-time high, it starts running, then alts go. HBAR, XRP, pick your coin, son. It all moves in tandem. And I don't know that everything that exists is going to hit a new all-time high, because it sure as hell didn't last market cycle, but plenty will. Those with actual utility. Those the market deems worthy, yes. And I think it's pretty clear what the market feels about XRP. It has stayed in the top 10 by market cap its entire damn life. And then there was also, I watched another video, I wanted to mention this too, from chart analyst Alessio Rastani. I think he's fantastic. I don't talk about him that frequently because he doesn't post that frequently. I mean, somewhat frequently, but even when he does, it's not always about crypto. But he, in a short video today, it's the one that's on your screen if you want to check it out, one of the takeaways is that he believes at this point, based on current chart structure, that Bitcoin is just going to keep going to the upside. And he said that there are a bunch of analysts that he finds highly reputable, but they think that this is the height for Bitcoin, right? He thinks this is pretty much it, and there's going to be a break to the downside. And he says he just disagrees right now. And he says it's not that they're necessarily going to be proven to be wrong. If you let enough time pass, we'll see what happens. But he says there's no way that he's going to think that's what's most probable with the current chart setup. And so we need to see, the indicators that he was looking for. And again, if you want the TA stuff, go check out his video. But he's basically saying, if you want me to change what I think is most probable, you're going to have to see a collapse here. Things are going to actually have to fall apart. But he says, from his perspective, it doesn't look like that's what's most probable. And it's funny because in a way, it's kind of like the opposite of what you've heard from the blockchain backer, because the blockchain backer, he acknowledges that, okay, fine, the market in theory could keep going up. He's made it clear he doesn't think that's what's most probable. He's very concerned based about the way that there have been retracement levels recently to the upside. And he may very well be right. He's held minority positions in the past that have absolutely panned out, including last market cycles. So he's certainly to be respected. He's got quite a track record. But he acknowledges that there's a way that his mind could be flipped. And if you see a continuation from here, including with equities, because he's looking at the NASDAQ, he's looking at the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, if that keeps going to the upside and Bitcoin's following, at some point there would be sufficient indication that a continuation is clearly at play. In which case, the blockchain backers made it clear that he would flip his bias, right? And so he just doesn't think that's what's most probable. And so Alessio's basically the opposite. He's like, well, I'll flip my bias if necessary. I just don't see why right now. So it's just, in ways, the opposite. But they're both open-minded, and they're just going to keep looking at the data, which I respect. So we're going to see what happens here. I'm optimistic we're going to see fireworks this year to the upside. I really hope we see Bitcoin hit a new all-time high this year or early next year, however long it takes. This market cycle, though. And we're all going to find out together. But if indeed this is going to happen, like I was saying at the outset of the video, my God, the opportunity for life-changing wealth. I've been waiting a while, and I will be however patient I need to be. But it's been over 6 years. And in the world of crypto, that's like an eternity. Now, investing in traditional finance, it's like, no, you invest for decades. That's what you do. And maybe since I've always kind of had that mindset, maybe that's why it's not difficult for me. But in crypto, over 6 years and having never cashed out to United States dollars, despite my net worth being up substantially, it's a little uncommon. Most people don't do what I do, but that's fine. It's fine. It's either I'm going to be sufficiently enticed to cash out or I'm not. And I'm not yet. I think next blow off top, it's highly likely I will be, but we need to see what happens here. So again, the opportunity is there. This is a time to be excited. I hope we don't become disappointed, but this is a time to genuinely be excited so far as I'm concerned. So we'll find out what happens together. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.